The following is a presentation of the Hello Chicago Network.
Hello, Chicago Network is on the air. Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Anashas. It's time to focus for this Tuesday, April the 28th. Of course, this is a dual focus. Obviously, we have the Cubs talk about the White Sox. Have so much to catch up on. Haven't talked about them in a couple of weeks. We are going to take this in doses. We're not going to do it all because I don't want to bombard you, and we got so much to recap. So we're kind of going to be like a series or two behind with both the Cubs and White Sox for the summer until we need to get up to something. So just be prepared for that. So let's take a look at the White Sox and see where they have been so far this season. And here we go. And let's talk about this right now. They face the Rays at the rate, and they get swept in that series. It just seems like nothing went their way. Then they go on a West Coast road trip, go to Sacramento. They do get a series win there. They played pretty good. Murakami started his home run swing there, and I think that was huge. Getting a nice series win there in Sacramento against the A's. Then they go to Arizona Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, able to get the win. They absolutely Murakami once again, a big bomb, and kept that streak. I believe it was up to 5 for Murakami. That was great. Colson Montgomery had 4 straight games, and overall, you got to be happy with the White Sox. 2 straight series wins out on the West Coast. That's not easy if you're not a diehard baseball fan or follower regularly. It is hard to go from one coast to the other and play good baseball. So great job there by the White Sox to be able to do that. And I think that's the thing you really wanted to see. You wanted to see them come out there, play strong, do exactly that. We know the pitching was going to be a struggle, but did we know Murakami? He's a guy he's been there, and he's been able to get the big hits. And I think he's a home run guy. He's going to be like the Adam Dunn. And I continue to say that, where he's either going to hit a 3-run homer, 500 feet, or he's going to strike out. That's how it is. We've also seen good defense from him as well. Colson Montgomery's been very good as well. Benintendi got a big 3-run homer to win that last game in Arizona. You'd love to get him going. He seems, even though he's the biggest contract in White Sox history, unless it's Murakami now, that overall, you haven't heard much from Benintendi. So you want to see some more from this offense. Noah Schultz looked good in his second outing after getting rocked in that Rays series. So I think there's a lot of things to be happy and excited about now coming back home. Of course, over the weekend, they did play against the Nationals. We'll be talking about that next week. So like I said, we're going to be a little behind when it comes to baseball. So that gives me more content for the following week. So just stay tuned for that and work with me with that. But the great job by the White Sox. Tough series against the Rays, but they did very good to go out on the West Coast. And this past week, they played the Nationals at home. And then I believe they also, did they face the Angels? I believe that was the other team, who are a pesky bunch as well. Yeah, they did. They welcomed in the Angels this week before heading back out on the road. They're going on another West Coast trip, I believe, after that. So that is the White Sox. Now let's shift over to the North Siders. Talk about a little bit about what we missed with them while we were on vacation. Let's take a look. Okay, for the North Siders, let's take a look and see how their stretch was on this since we were gone. They were at the Phillies. I believe it was the opener. They got absolutely torched. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, it was a Schwarber game. I think he had 2 or 3 home runs. Cubs lost, and that wasn't a good start. Like I said, this is the battle of a lot of good teams. And then they go out and they win both. They trailed in, I believe, both those second games against the Phillies, come back and win the series. Then they face a Met team, which is there pressure on the Cubs when you have a team coming in that has struggled like the Mets. Well, guess what? Cubs take advantage. Game 1 of that series on Friday, they did a very good job to be able to hold the win. Sunday, I believe it was Sunday, where Devin Williams came in to try to get the save, and Michael Conforto, the former Met, hits one down the line, ties the game, and then the Cubs end up walking it off. Cubs have 2 walk-offs on this homestand, possible candidates for walk-off of the year, and then then in a series against the Phillies where they played very well. Once again, the pitching has looked good. And then, of course, that last game, that was a 4-game series, by the way, against the Phillies. And that last one, Cubs did everything for the Phillies to win that game. Cubs able to win it in 10 innings, walk it off. Great job by the Cubs. 9-game winning streak going on to that West Coast road trip. And I think that is absolutely huge for this Cubs team. I think they're playing some of their best baseball before they're going to LA, get their first test against the Dodgers over the weekend. And then, of course, this week they're going to be in San Diego before they go back home. I think that's huge. They go in as of right there in tied for first place with the Cincinnati Reds. You don't want to look at that. The Brewers are always there right now. They're hit with the injuries. That's okay. But I think right now you got to be happy. Shota Imanaga's pitched very well. I think that is something that he's starting to find his groove again. He's not giving up the home runs every time. Edward Cabrera's looked very good. The first couple of starts, but looked good in that game against the Phillies. Unfortunately, couldn't get the win. Bullpen's probably going to be the worrisome part, but we'll see the injuries. We'll see how Thielbar's injury is. Daniel Palencia is hurt. I think he might be back on this West Coast trip, so that'll be key. But they got to get that bullpen going if this team's going to continue this route, because right now their offense is doing good. We knew the offense would come around. Everyone jumped off the bridge, jumped off the ledge early on. This team was going to come around offensively, and they're probably going to get into another dip. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. It's baseball. You can't be great for 162 and you can't suck for 162. So we'll see what happens with this team. But right now, enjoy the ride. I think this is another test game against the series against the Dodgers, series against the Padres, and then they're back home, I believe, for their first. Again, everyone's like all excited about the National League Central being over 500. I don't think any going into last weekend, no NL Central team played any other NL Central team. Brewers played the Pirates last weekend. Cubs have their first matchup against the Reds. I was watching the Cardinals broadcast, and they're like, when do we get an NL Central opponent? So no one's had NL Central opponents. So it'll be fun to see that as well. But, I mean, don't get too high, don't get too low, but enjoy it right now. The offense is hot. Hopefully that continued this weekend in LA. We'll talk about that next week with this Cubs team as well. But they're fun right now. Keep that going. I'm not going to get all excited because last year had a great first half, second half shit the bed. But Bregman's getting hot. Bush is starting to get hot. Happ's hot. Suzuki's getting hot. They're hot. And that's good going into a trip against the best team, the defending 2-time World Series champions over this past weekend and all that. So that's that. So that's that for this one. I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. We're back the rest of the week. Yesterday, of course, was we finished the Bulls and Blackhawks. Tomorrow, we're going to be unfocused the next couple of days. Well, we're going to talk about tomorrow, the NFL draft, talk about the Bears number 1 overall pick. Then on Sunday, Thursday, we are going to, I'm going to give you my pick. Run to the box. I'm going to tell you who's winning the 2026 Kentucky Derby. And then Monday, I'll brag about it when I'm rolling in the money with my pick for the 2026 Kentucky Derby. So a couple unfocused the rest of the week. And then we'll be back to Chicago sports end of next week. Because we got to get NBA, NHL playoffs. We are doing that next week, and round 1 will be in the books already. So we have a lot to recap there as well. So again, with that week off, giving us a lot of content. We're a little behind, but please enjoy. Don't forget to comment below your thoughts on the White Sox and Cubs. Also, like the video if you like what you're seeing. Subscribe to the Hello Chicago Network YouTube channel. We are focusing every Monday through Thursday, 3:12 Central. We are your home for Chicago sports. I'm Ryan Anashadas from the Hello Chicago Network. We're the focus of Chicago sports.